Story. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Claris. She went to school often, and she liked a boy named Louis. She dressed up to make Louis like her, but Louis always ignored her. She also had a friend named Angel, and Angel liked Claris, but she only liked Louis. Angel told Louis not to ignore her, that she was one of the prettiest girls in the whole school. Louis was angry with Angel because of that, so one day Angel told Claris that if she wanted to go with them to the fair. Claris refused because she was very sad. She slept and dreamed with Louis. She dreamed that they were boyfriend and girlfriend, and the next day she woke up. And when she woke up, she started to cry and did not want to go to school. But she had to go because it was project day. When Louis arrived, he approached Claris running, and Claris was happy. But she realized that he did not come for love. He came with a very nice doll. Louis told Claris, "Help me." We went to a tent at the fair, and Angel became this doll. Chapter 1. Then Claris said, "Ha ha," as if it were true. Louis said no, and Claris decided to go to the fair that same day. Claris saw the purple tent. Louis told her that if she saw it she should not enter, but Claris did not listen, and went in and saw a witch called Tarintia. What a weird name, right? And she said some very strange words. Cry and cry until the end. And the tent exploded, and when Claris woke up, she was a purple stuffed animal. She cried, but it was too late. Louis turned to see her and grabbed her and took her away. She always talked to them until a replacement arrived, which turned out to be a trap. It was Tarintia deceiving Louis. She forgot about her and Angel forever. One day she woke up and the closet was being opened by Louis. Louis took her to a hospital to donate her, because he thought she was just a stuffed animal. There she sat in a donation box, until the next day she woke up as a giant stuffed animal. People saw her and got scared and ran away. She got mad at Louis, so knowing that her mom was in that hospital, she lit a match and threw it. The hospital started to burn. She saw how Louis ran to the hospital, but it was too late. Claris felt bad, but it was revenge. After a short time, she was bored for a long time. She did not have fun. One day she saw Angel and Louis playing 20 nights. She wanted to play, but they were finishing, so she sent a letter so he would go to play with her and be happy again. Night 1. The first night with Claris starts. Louis was angry because he was not free, so Louis did not want to do anything. But if he did nothing, Claris would eat him. But again he remembered, I am 29 years old, I can. This would be like adding 20 more nights. Claris knocks on the door of the place where Louis is and tells him, "Come out. I will not do anything to you," and in the shadow, it was seen that he put a smile on his face. Louis told him that he would not open it. Claris mentioned that he would do it by force, as Angel did, when he knocked down the door of the basement. Louis said to Claris, "Angel is dead. I killed him." Claris gets angry and knocks down the door. Louis runs out the side. Claris did not see him, so Louis closes the door. Claris says to open it, but in that moment the sun rises and the sun rises. Night 2. After Louis was bored all day, the second night arrived. Claris was still in the room, trapped. Louis clearly was not going to open the door. He began to look for secret places, as there were in the previous house. Possibly there were here. For the moment Louis has not found any place. He wondered what would be the way out of this. Claris tells him. Louis, scared, tries to negotiate with Claris not to hurt him, but it is too late. Claris broke the door and managed to get out. Claris ran to Louis and asked him about Angel. Louis was silent. Claris got suspicious and left since it was already dawn, and Claris left sad. Night 3. Louis was sad for Angel and Claris. They were best friends. Night 3 starts. Louis was walking through the corridors, and he found a secret place. It was a hidden laboratory, and he noticed that this is where Claris was resting during the days. He looked if there was anything else in the laboratory, but there were only flasks lying around. Louis thought about something. I know how I can get out of here sooner. Maybe Claris still loves me deep inside her. Louis went to Claris and told her very nice things. Claris became sad and didn't want to go on, but it was for revenge. But at any moment it would dawn. So Claris left. Night 4. Louis thought that he had made her feel bad, because he was reminding her of the past times. The next night begins. The terror is felt. Claris was not asleep, and she was not chasing Louis. It was a mystery, but where is she? Then he saw that the door where she entered the hospital was open. Louis still had the cameras of that house, so he started to see them. And if there was Claris looking for Angel. After a while he finds him and Claris runs to the lab. Louis knows that he will revive him and the two will take revenge, but this time together. Claris fixes Angel, but she has to wait until 10 o'clock. At that time the sun rises. Night 5. After all this madness, Louis is more afraid with Claris than with Angel, because he doesn't know what Claris is up to. He doesn't know if he wants to kill him or what. But he knows that when night 10 arrives it will be the worst. Night 5 arrives. There are still many nights left to finish. Claris approaches him and says. Louis hides in a room. Claris starts to sing. Louis only listens as she is approaching him little by little. The only thing Louis thought was that Claris sang beautifully. Louis fell in love with her beautiful voice, but in that moment she died and stopped listening to him. Night 6 and Night 7. The next day before 8 p.m. Louis was writing a letter to Claris. Night 6 began and Claris did not read the letter. Apparently Claris was still busy seeing how to revive Louis. Well, Claris spent all night 6, but just at 2 a.m. her singing was heard until the end of the night. The day passed and night 7 arrived. Claris this time saw Louis very strange, and Claris had been cheating him all over the hospital. Louis found a safe room where he could not enter, which was security, Louis managed to turn on the cameras, did not see. When he turned to see the window of the door, there he was, but then the clock rang. Letter. To Claris. Claris, I want to apologize for everything I have done to you and for ignoring you when we were little. I know you liked me, but why fight? We are friends. You don't have to do this. I promise, I will help you find a way to get you back to normal. Forgive me. From Luis Alberto. Night 8. The next day Louis saw the cameras of night 6, and saw that he was setting traps, so Louis had a plan. His plan was that Claris would fall into his own traps. Louis remembered that there were only 2 nights left for Angel to return, and it would be more difficult for him to finish the nights. At that time it was 8 p.m. Louis was waiting for Claris to read his letter, but she didn't read it that night either. At that time Louis decided to sing a song to call Claris' attention, but it was better to sing it on night 9. Claris with an evil voice said to Louis, "Louis, where are you?" Louis obviously didn't go, and stayed in security all night, and the clock did its job. Night 9. Night 9 was about to begin. Louis was preparing his song and the moon came out. Louis started, 20 more nights. It's 20 more nights this time, Claris. He'll chase me. Here I am, in the hospital, which you set ablaze. In flames my heart. Look at you, you weren't like that, Claris. Tell me what happened to you. You didn't kill and let me down. You helped and supported me. You are and will continue to be my friend. But don't be like that. Don't change, Claris. Angel and you will always be my friends. I'll never forget you. A memory inside me tells me about you. But you weren't like that. 20 more nights. 20 more nights. Because you are like that, Claris. You are like that, Claris. More. Because you are like this, Claris. You have to change. Claris listened. Everything, and that was the end of the night. Night 10. The next day Louis said, I hope it worked. Today is the day that Angel will arrive again. Night 10 arrived and Claris read Louis' letter, and got sad, but it was too late. Angel had revived and Claris told Angel that he should not hurt him anymore. Angel didn't listen and was very angry, and went to kill Angel. Angel fell in a trap of Claris, but he thought they were Louis, which made him more angry than he already was. Louis saw Angel and Angel saw Louis, and ran away. Angel was following him. Claris shouted to Angel to stop. Angel did not listen, and kept running for Louis, and the sun came out, and did not catch him, and the 10 was over. Night 11. Louis was trying to find where Angel and Claris were sleeping during the days. But he couldn't. Louis was afraid that this would continue and there would be another 20 nights. Louis didn't want to. The only thing Louis wanted was to finish all this. He had been wishing since the first night with Angel. The 11th night started. Angel was looking for Louis. Claris kept trying to change his mind, but she couldn't. Louis was in the safest zone. Security. While Louis was watching the cameras, Claris was looking for the letter to show it to Angel. At the end she found it and gave it to Angel, and what Angel did was to destroy it. Claris cried and Angel didn't care. Claris got angry. but this time with Angel, and that was the end of the night. Night 12. The next day Louis had realized that Claris from that night was good. Apparently, she was going to help him to protect himself from Louis. Louis had planned something for the night 15, and had everything ready, but wanted to wait a little longer. He had planned to tell Claris everything, but wanted to be sure that Claris is of his team. Then the night came. Claris saw another letter that said, "Hello Claris, I am Louis. I want to be sure that you are of my team to teach you something." Claris went to the place where Louis had told her. When Louis saw that Claris was already coming, he was scared, so he hid under the table. Claris went in and Louis came out, and told Claris the whole plan. She accepted, and the night was over. Night 13. The next day Louis knew that he could trust Claris. Louis was ready for the night 15. Louis was preparing what was needed for the night 15, and be able to beat Angel together as friends and not as enemies. The night 13 started. Louis was not afraid, because Claris was his friend, and he was excited for the night 15 to arrive. It would be the best. Angel came out and saw Louis with sad eyes, and said, "Claris convinced me, and we have to be friends, Louis." Louis listened to him. Just when they were going to hug, Louis saw Claris tied to a stretcher, and with her mouth covered. So Louis moved away little by little, and untied Claris quickly, and said that he had tried, but she had not listened to him. They said goodbye and the night ended. Night 14. The next day Louis was super ready for the next night. Every time, it was getting closer to really finish with this. Tonight he had planned to entertain Angel, so he wouldn't realize what they were about to do. At night it was getting dark, and Angel's steps were getting louder and louder. Louis told him, "Why are you behaving like that? When I was with you, you even told me good things." And Angel answered, "That was before you hurt me, telling me that you were not a friend of any monster. I still had faith in you, but I have lost it. You have changed too, not only us." And Angel went running through the corridors, and then the clock rang. Night 15. The day finally arrived. The day of the plan that Louis and Claris had planned. The night had arrived and Claris was looking for Louis until they met. They went to a test lab. Angel was looking for Louis without suspecting anything. Louis closed the lab and the curtains and turned on the light, while Claris was preparing the vaccine. Louis put Claris to bed and put her to sleep and gave her the vaccine, which would be so that Claris would not fall asleep at 6 a.m. Now Claris would be there all day. This was step 1 of the plan. Make Claris to be there for days. It was about to be 6 a.m. Angel ran away. The clock rang and Louis saw if it had worked. He was going to wake Claris to see what was going on. Night 16. At dawn, Louis saw if Claris was awake. Claris opened her eyes and Louis shouted with happiness. Plan 1 was done. Now Plan 2 started. Make traps or crazy things for Angel. They were all day making traps for Angel. The clock rang 8 p.m. and Angel woke up. Louis made it seem that nothing was happening until Angel fell into a trap. Angel fell into a trap, which was a very deep hole, and Angel shouted, "You know you are making me mad a truth. As soon as I get out of here, I will kill you and you will no longer give me that blow of magical courage that strangely defeated in that night was over and the plan if it was working." Night 17. After the night 16, the plan was working excellently well, just as they had planned it. Now was step 3 of the plan. Make Angel mad to the max. Claris had everything prepared for that, and Louis was also prepared. The night fell and Angel came out. Claris told him he was crazy, that he was his worst friend, and Angel said, "Now I'm the worst friend. And then why did you revive me to sing songs, like we did, when we were kids, before that boy forgot us?" Claris, we were best friends. But because of him we stopped being best friends, and now it turns out that I am the worst friend. Claris felt bad about that, but he didn't want to ruin the plan and the nig. HT was over. Ruin the plan and the night ended. Night 18. At dawn, Claris told him everything that had happened with Angel. Louis marked that step 3 was finished. Now followed step 4. Try to have a friendly talk with him. Louis was preparing himself, because it was the penultimate step of the plan, and he could not spoil it. The night 18 started with courage. Louis was looking for Angel. Angel found Louis and said, "Because of you, Claris thinks that I am her worst friend, just because you did this." And Louis said, "I knew this. Who was the fool that wanted to go in with the witch? You, and because of you the same thing happened to Claris." Angel left before dawn, but he didn't leave happy, and at that moment the night was over. Night 19. Well, that was not the friendliest talk in the world, but something is something. Louis wrote down in his list that this step was already finished. Now for the last step 5. Show her a video of us playing when we were little. It was Claris' turn to do this step. It was night in an instant, and when Angel woke up, Claris told him to watch the video, and he started to watch it. They playing hide and seek, and Claris falls, and Angel and Louis help her while the others laugh, and Angel got in trouble just to protect her best friend, and they gave Angel a report. Angel started to cry when he saw the video, and Louis quickly gave her the vaccine he had given Claris, and the night was over. Night 20. The next day at dawn, Angel saw that he was awake and thanked them both for giving him back his happiness, and also asked for forgiveness for everything that had happened and begged Louis to forgive him, and Louis of course forgave him, and Claris said, "Well, now we will be friends for life, we will never be separated again," and Claris gave Louis the key to the X-rays. They still didn't know what was waiting for them in there. They didn't know if it was dangerous, or if they were all safe. They all entered and saw that they were now in a movie theater, and in a room they heard noise, so they entered and the screen said, "Welcome," and they heard a laugh which was from Claris, better known as Tarintia. END. This story does not end here. This story will continue. Social networks. Live version.